All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for the 116 show. Just like we agreed upon, 116 Central is exactly what we said. Yeah, right. Meet me there.
Yeah, you
Uh,
can count on us.
I am joined, of course, by the reigning champion, Tia-Clair Toomey. We are both in rooms with plain walls, as it seems like everybody is these days. We were kind of talking before the cameras were rolling. What a crazy time this is.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. It has been wild these last couple of weeks.
But what I've really admired about you, and you're a woman of action, and at least looking through social, you're keeping really busy. I want to get into what you've learned about yourself later, but what has really kind of stood out? What are the high points, if you can call them that? What have been the high
Yeah.
points of the kind of new lifestyle we've been living for the last few weeks?
Yeah, it's so strange because we are currently going through something it's so daunting, it's unknown, and the uncertainty is really bringing a lot of people down around the world. And something that I've realized throughout this time is just how much people are coming together within the community. And especially because I'm so involved in the fitness community, I'm really seeing so many people just coming together and trying to make the most positive situation out of this it currently going through. And I am so overwhelmed by the amount of support people are showing each other. And it's just so fantastic to see, even though people are going through some of the hardest times of their life right now, able to look past all that and really try and dig deep and just bring some sunshine into the
Yeah,
light.
and in very creative ways. I've noticed that. I don't know if it's because there's more time to think, or people just don't have the typical distractions that they would lean upon. But not the least example is your new TikTok obsession, right? I don't know if we ever would
Oh
have seen
yeah.
you on TikTok if it wasn't for this.
Of those things, like at the start of the year, Shane came up with this thing. He's like, hey, there's this new thing with the younger generation called TikTok. And when I first had a look at it, I was like, oh, I don't know if I have enough time for this. I don't really understand it. And it wasn't until we actually started having to be isolated and in our own houses that I had all this time on my hands. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. And I started looking through these things. And then with Brooke, Katrin, and myself, we came up with this idea. Well, Brooke actually came up with the idea to do a TikTok dance. And I was like, oh, perfect. Like, this is a great opportunity for me
Jump
to
in.
learn what TikTok is all about. And it wasn't too long before Shane wanted to jump in with me, and we've been just having a lot of fun. And what's so great about these dances is the laughter that we have laughing at each other while creating it. Like my most recent one was, if you guys could only see me trying to get Shane into my crop top, my Noble crop top, it was hilarious. And then trying to get it off was even worse. And like, we could not stop laughing. And I think that, going on in the world, and, we are all watching the news, and it's just always negative. And finally you're able to find something that makes you just laugh so hard. And it was just such a great feeling. And so I've tried to, push that out into the world, and, hopefully people are doing it with their own family and friends, and, just having a lot of fun with it, because we're trying to loosen it up a little bit by having a lot of fun and laughing throughout this
Yeah,
period.
and I'm interested to hear, because you have seen your fair share of, for lack of a better description, like natural tragedies. You had, obviously, Australia was ravaged by wildfire. There was a
Yeah.
tornado right here in Cookeville, Tennessee, that took a
Yeah.
huge amount of life. And now we've got the coronavirus, COVID-19 thing going on. So I'm interested,
Yeah.
really, to hear, I don't know if there are lessons that you've learned about yourself, or habits that you had that you brought into these experiences that you've kind of leaned on to keep sane.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. The last 6 months, and it's been like, I think it's actually been, maybe, yeah, about 5 months of all just one thing after another after another. And before you know it, you're getting into this rut of just, being unhappy and miserable. And something that I have really just kind of come to get used to, I guess, and build confidence in was, being more interactive on social media. And, one of my New Year's resolutions this year was to do a lot more stories like face value rather than, taking a photo and just writing the caption of what I was thinking. It was more of like, hey, I want people to see my face, and, I want to talk into the camera. And it's very daunting talking into the camera. So this period has really forced me into that. And I don't know why, but it's just, worked out perfectly for me that I've been able to, enjoy FaceTime a lot more, and I've been able to interact a lot more. Yesterday was my very first time going live on YouTube and taking a 5 p.m. for a CrossFit affiliate that, one of the friends that owns the gym. She asked me to take one of their classes, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I've never done that before. Of course. And then, I've taken core workouts on Instagram Live and just things like that I've definitely felt like I've become a lot more comfortable with. And I've just noticed my confidence in front of the camera and building that. And that's definitely been something that I'm very proud of in terms of, going through this time. That positive thing has come from this and has been kind of created. And I'm so happy to see so many people still trying to stay active. I've always known people love sports, and I've always known that they've been a huge, supporter of CrossFit and moving the body and staying healthy. But it wasn't until I've fully seen the amount of requests we've had for home workouts that I was like, whoa, this many people are wanting to work out. Like, I was so amazed. And I feel silly for admitting that, but I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it's it's almost a perfect segue as well to talk about. You mentioned the community coming together, and here we are on this brand new platform. But hey, we're kicking off this YouTube channel, the United in Movement YouTube channel.
Yeah,
and in just a couple kick off this effort to raise funds for those who, regardless of how they're taking it attitude-wise, will feel the lasting effects of the financial elements or effects of the COVID-19 crisis for possibly years to this. So I guess I want to hear your quick thoughts on why you got involved in United in Movement.
Yeah, so United in Movement came about in Matt O'Keefe and his team at Loud and Live came up with this idea of to the community. And, not only have they, but everyone around the world has been affected, and especially within our community, our CrossFit affiliates, a lot of people have had to shut shop and have had to put their businesses on hold. And throughout this time, it's not just for a week. We're talking a month, 2 months. We have no idea. And so it's very scary and very daunting because, some of these businesses won't actually survive through this. And that's really sad because a lot of hard sweat and tears has gone into creating these businesses and to help others. So, I think that United in Movement has been a really cool thing and has definitely been a no-brainer for me to jump on board and be a part of, because I really want to give back to those that are truly affected financially when it comes to, their businesses, what we're going through right now. And the people that have created this are just such good people, and I have full confidence that their intentions to doing this is going to be just true and genuine. And it's so humbling to know that there are people out there that want to help those that are struggling, and that's exactly why I want to be a part of United in Movement.
Yeah, and to your point, when you say the people behind this, it's actually really been taken over by the community. Everybody involved, volunteering their time, and like you said, doing good for the sake of good. And you've been involved in the cross for a really long time, but it's kind of funny to think, like now you're a multi-time champion, you're the reigning champion of the world, being on television on the greatest stage in the world. But once upon a time, it was, just gyms and online chat forums, and that has remained kind of the bedrock of the entire ecosystem. So watching those guys struggle for me has been really heart wrenching, because you think about it. We used to call it recession proof. Like, this industry is recession proof. Well, not when you can't actually go to the physical gym. That becomes a real problem.
Yeah, it really does. And what's even better is it's not just US based. This is worldwide. We are trying to touch every single person in the universe. That is huge.
It's huge. Well, my friend, I know that we were supposed to keep this brief. It's hard. It's funny that we're in the same town. We're both in Cookeville, Tennessee, but here we are talking through
I
the
know,
internet.
we're only like 10 miles away from each other, if that.
But this is the way of things for a while. And I don't know, maybe a parting thought for fans. I know people obviously look to you for huge inspiration. I mean, just based on even what you said today about really looking for a smile and trying to see the bright side of everything, and find creative ways to stay active and things like that. But maybe just I would love to hear your parting thought for folks who are tuned in, and maybe they're not there right now. They're just having a little bit of a difficult time.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, I know we are going through a hard time, and no one knows more than yourself what you're going through. But just remember that you're not alone, and everyone's going through something slightly different, but understanding that you can only focus on what you can control. And right now, there's a lot of unknowns. So by staying healthy, moving the body, and just stimulating the mind is going to help you get through these particular moments. And, reach out, please, like to myself, to athletes that you inspire to follow, and that give you that constant motivation throughout your life, even to United in Movement. These guys are out here trying to help you guys. And if you're really going through a hard time, don't sit there in silence. Like, reach out and, ask for help, ask for guidance. And, we're 100% going to be super supportive and wanting to, accept and open our arms to anyone that needs that little bit of help, and just be really present in your life. If you are around your pets, your loved ones, some friends, if you've got roommates, just have some fun with them, think outside the box, and just try and make that particular moment a fun and enjoyable moment. Look back on this and be like, oh wow, like that was something that we all went through, and it doesn't happen very often. We learned so much from it. We're going to be a lot better off from this experience. I truly believe that.
Perfectly and beautifully put, T. And thank you so much for being a leader and for taking the time to talk with us. And we'll see you on Saturday night to kick off the very first workout of United in Movement.
Very excited. Matt and I believe we'll be doing that. So we'll be throwing down and having a lot of fun. But guys, it was a huge to be a part of this. And I'm just so excited to kick this off. Move forward together.
All right. If it's forward together, and if his head has not exploded yet, big shout out to Anthony. And Anthony, take us out, brother.